The true joy of printing comes from a feeling of confidence that you get when you know how to get the most out of your pictures. So we're again looking for a product with intelligent design, one that offers us practical features that we can use. Now, speaking of intelligent design, take a look at this. This is HP's new style of printer, the HP Photosmart A826 Home Photo Center. Now, it's designed for home users that are looking for a combination of kiosk-like ease of use combined with the convenience of a huge touchscreen, a built-in paper tray, and lab-quality photos. The Photosmart A826 Home Photo Center is all about sharing your photos in the easiest possible way. So let me show you the main components. There's no buttons. It's very simple. Right in the top, we have a paper tray that will store up to 100 sheets of paper. So it's always loaded up and ready to go to be able to print off lots of pictures. There's hardly any external buttons except for a power button on the side. Everything is managed by this touch screen right here. Down below we have media card slots, so we can take the media cards directly out of our digital camera and print from them. We have a USB port in the back to hook a computer up to, and we have another USB port in the front that we can just plug. I'm going to plug a memory key into. We can also plug a camera directly in here. A PicBridge enabled camera will give us all of the controls and allow us to print directly from the camera. Once we've connected a photo source, the images appear on the screen and all of our navigational tools appear, and we're ready to start working with our photos. So what can we do with the photos? Well, let's select one and let's make a project happen. So I'm going to navigate through to find that's the photo I want right there. And you can do special projects. You can choose get creative or edit the photos. Editing the photos will allow us to adjust the brightness and contrast and do some minor editing. Getting creative brings us into an area that gives us lots of ideas of different sorts of things we can do. And if you take a look, we can add frames. We can turn them into albums. We can add captions, which is adding text. And we can do that by handwriting or by typing. We can add clip art, and we can use a lot of the different design gallery elements, making it look like sepia, an old-fashioned photograph. That sort of stuff. But I want to show you something simple, say adding a frame to a photo, and I might want to add a seasonal frame, like a Christmas frame, because we might want to turn this photo into a Christmas card. So we can navigate through lots of different frames, and I know that the Christmas ones are just this way, and there is a couple of different Christmas frames we can add. You just select the frame, and now you even have the interactivity of being able to position the photo right within the frame if it's not perfectly centered, but that actually works pretty well right there. I'm going to say done, and now it adds, if I want to add this frame to all the photos or just this photo, I'm just going to add it to the one photo and get it printing. Now I'm going to print off a 4x6 inch print here. It'll also print 5x7, and depending on what paper you have loaded in, it will automatically select the appropriate size. Now, one thing about this printer is it's really fast. As little as 79 seconds for a print. This one with the frame is going to take about 1.5 minutes, about 90 seconds to print, which is really incredibly fast when you talk about small format printers. Now it'll print in very high resolution too, as good as you're going to get from a photo lab, up to 4,800 by 1,200 dots per inch. Now, while it's doing this, I can actually show you some of the other tools, because once it's started to print, you can actually start to work with different images. So I'm going to go into some of the other images and show you some of the other editing tools. Say selecting this photo from Peggy's Cove, which I might want to crop and orient slightly differently to print. I can go into the edit photo area, choose crop, and then I have a cropping box that I can work with. If I rotate the photo, you can see I can position that cropping box. I can zoom in or out to allow it to crop. And again, it sets it up perfectly as far as we're concerned for printing off on either 4x6 or 5x7 inch paper. Now, this is far and away the simplest photo printer that I've ever used. The 7-inch screen here is magic. I kind of like the look of the whole box too. It's kind of a retro design, don't you think? But I didn't realize how much of a difference having this large touch screen would make. This is the closest thing to editing your photos on a PC. I really feel like I've got total control over the whole process. Now, I can see the A826 being an incredibly popular addition to any family gathering. As I said, it is so easy to use. It gives you great quality. It's fast. It's convenient. It's a printer that turns printing photos from a chore into an easy-to-use joy. Say hello to my little Harajuku assistants. Part of the joy of printing is doing projects like the Christmas card we printed off. But beyond the built-in ideas in the cameras and in the printers, HP's constantly looking for projects and ideas so that we can enjoy our digital imaging lives more. For example, there's always interesting printing projects and ideas on the HP site. Let's take a look, for example, at this collection of projects from Gwen Stefani. Now, these are not your mama's craft projects. They're probably not your daddy's either. These are more your daughter's craft projects. These are a series of styles and different things that we can create that allow us to really enjoy the whole graphical experience of our computer. Now, if we go in and we take a look at the style pieces that are attached here, these are different, basically, backgrounds and covers that we can use for creating greeting cards, or we can use for doing mix CDs, for doing our own graphics on mix CDs. And they're based on a whole series of styles from Gwen Stefani. Now, kids can take these graphic elements and then personalize them more to meet their own needs. Now, they can print them out as they are and do things like printing greeting cards. And we've printed off a nice greeting card here in one of the styles. But you can also use these graphics for other projects, for posters, or for the cover art inside of their binders, for that kind of stuff. It's got the flexibility to work in all of those areas. Now, the thing that we had the most fun with, though, was producing these Harajuku dolls. These dolls are completely customizable, and here you get to have a lot of fun. You get to start playing dress up. Just by moving our cursor over different areas of the doll, we can change that aspect. We can change her hair. We click here, choose a new hairstyle, and it's that easy to change the hairstyle. We can change the skin tone. We can change her whole wardrobe. And these wardrobe pieces really reflect the Gwen Stefani style, and I kind of think they reflect the Steve Dotto style too, if you look really closely. We can change the shoes. And once you've selected the doll and set the doll up the way you want, you then print that doll out in a PDF document that you can then use as the basis for making the dolls. Now, they do give us suggestions of exactly what materials we want to print on, because once you've put together any project, be it a photo project or be it a craft project like this, you want to make sure that you're using the right supplies for that particular project. So, for example, for this one, we used a very heavyweight paper so that it would all stand up and be rigid, so the little girls here could stand up to the world around them. And if you're printing off greeting cards, you want to print it on greeting card stock that's pre-folded. If you're printing off photos, you want to print it off on photo stock with a glossy finish or a matte finish, depending on the type of photo you want. It's all about the supplies once you've put all the work in to actually creating the project. And HP's complete lineup of supplies are all designed to work together. Especially it's important when we consider the ink and the paper, the photo paper, because HP's Vivera inks are designed to last for generations and to hold their color if they're printed on correct paper. And HP's paper has the proper coatings so that it doesn't interact negatively with the ink and the color stays fast, the color stays bright and vibrant for years to come. So choosing the right supplies is the final step in making sure your project is viable. The simple joy of printing comes from creating and sharing. When you do print, you want to make sure that the quality of the print is as high as possible. And the HP Photosmart printer lineup gives us the technical resolution. Then the Vivera line of inks give us the color and the quality and the longevity, all on a paper that's perfectly matched to the entire system. And then there's all the things that we don't see, like HP's advanced print heads and the chemistry of the ink. All these things come together and give us the tremendous satisfaction of a photo or a project that we're proud of. That is the pure joy of printing. Blogs, podcasts, streaming video, you can find it all on our new website. Check out dottotech.com.